Anyways, I am back, and it's actually kind of funny, actually, um, because there you go. For some reason, the webcam sort of got skewed. You're probably wondering why are my glasses dark? Well, they go dark when I'm outside, and they'll brighten up during this. So, those who do not know, and you see this package here, this package is or should be the DS that I ordered on Saturday. So yeah, literally, I ordered this on the 3rd. Yeah, 3rd of January. Today's the 8th of January. So it took what? 6 days? Basically. What was it, the exact number? 5 days to arrive from Japan. Granted, I paid express shipping, but it was the same price as standard shipping, so I'm like, I'm paying shipping no matter what. So yeah, just going to pull the tab here, and then what? Okay, this is a little strange. So I pulled it, but nothing happened. Because normally if you pull it, you should be able to get into it. But unfortunately, that's not the case in this case. Yeah, let me just rip it like that. There we go. So, there is also some other stuff that I have to remove, like the mailing tag, basically that tag, and this is what I have. So, oh, okay, there is the charger. I was like, yeah. So this, like I said, was just the shipping bag, and then this is the commercial invoice, and it was $45.80 US, which is like 90. What was it? 93, I think it was. What was it? $92.75 US. Sorry, $65.79 US, so $66. Convert that, that is, like basically $93, $92.75. And this was at 145. Alright, I'm just updating a note here. Yeah, so it literally took 5 days for it to arrive. And you might be wondering, why did I go with this particular DS? Why didn't I go with a DSi or a 3DS? Well, 3DSs are very, very expensive now. They're selling on average more than what they were a decade ago when they were brand new. So I was thinking, do I really want to spend $200 to $300 on that type of console? Nope. And truth be told, those consoles, being the 3DSs, aren't backwards compatible with every console, right? Meaning, excuse me, they're only compatible with DS and 3DS games, whereas this, wow, this is actually in very, very good condition. A little bit yellow, but otherwise very, very good condition. Wow, it's so small. Other than that, it's only DS and 3DS games, whereas this is compatible with DS games as well as Game Boy games. And oh, it's a third-party charge. Oh no, it's an official charger. It's so light. Holy crap. Yeah. So it's funny because I actually have a 3D print here of what was supposed to be a 3DS Lite, or 3DS Lite, a DS Lite. This is the 3D print. This is the actual unit. Yeah, you can see how much bigger this actual DS is compared to this crappy 3D print was. Yeah, it was just super easy to break. Break at the hinge, basically, and it broke. Which I was going to do anyway, so. Yeah, so why did I go with the DS Lite over the other ones? Cost. Availability. Actually, not too bad to hold, actually. I have decent sized hands, and I thought, okay, the DSi was going to be too small. It's actually not bad for me to hold. Question now is, does it have any power? And where is the... Oh, there's the power switch. Yeah. It fully... Screens are a little yellow, but that's to be expected. Can I... English. Yay. There we go. I just set the language to English. Because even though this is from, like I said, this is from Japan, I could use it in Japanese, but it's actually, wow, it actually comes fully charged. As you can see in the corner there, it is fully charged. Yeah. So what did I get? So obviously I got the DS Lite itself. This is Noble Pink. There were other colors that the seller had available, but the pink one, which this is, was actually in very, very good condition. For some reason I thought this was basically a case. It's actually the shell. Yeah, it's actually like all connected. Yeah, so again, a lot of the DS Lites that I was looking at were missing pieces. Like some of them were missing the Game Boy cover as well as a stylus. Some didn't come with a charger, like this actually did come with a proper charger. Yeah, so this is the 100 watt or whatever that it's required is. Some were just the console, but this is actually a complete unit, which comes with the stylus, the cover, and a charger. And you might be wondering, wait a minute, you're in North America, you don't have the power requirements for it. I actually do. Sitting below me on my other computer, I have a converter basically to take our standard power to the one for okay, so it's almost like, it almost seems like it's a micro USB type connector, but it's not. It seems sort of like that. Let me grab a micro USB cable and I'll be back in a second here. There you go. Found one. I forgot the Xbox 360, or not Xbox 360, Xbox One controllers use the micro USB format for charging. So you can see if I hold them up very close here. So there's the micro USB. Right, let me do this here. Yeah, you can see that's the micro USB. Ooh. Right, very small. Toss that behind me. And you can see this is the proprietary connector. Almost looks like a micro USB cable. Very fascinating. But if I try to plug this in, it will not fit. Yeah, no, you can see what I mean. Like, it's too small. But it looks like it. So, yeah. And you might be wondering, oh, now you can buy games and stuff like that. Yes. And I was also looking at ones that didn't need a whole lot of work as well. Like, so there were some that were quite beat up and stuff like that. Whereas this is in very, very good condition. All the bumpers are in very good condition. The hinge is in very, very good condition. There were a few that I was looking at that needed bottom screen replacements. This, like I said, bottom screen is a little yellow. But not too bad. As you can see, there's the, if the camera can focus, yeah, you can see what I mean. It's a little bit yellow, but yeah. So going to try to get this connected to my network. English, and then it's going to, okay, so going to try to figure out how to change the clock and all that sort of stuff. Oh, it's in back. Birthday, no. Hair color. I'm going to try to see if I can get this up on online. So I'm going to try to figure out how to do that. Okay. So yeah, so I'll try. Anyways, I'm back, and I'm literally just putting together the unboxing video of this guy, my well, new DS Lite. It's not brand new. It's actually used, but shall I say new to me. DS Lite. And I sort of want to talk about why I went with the DS Lite over the DSi. DS. Yeah, so the DS, like the original DS, the Lite, the DSi, and the XL, and obviously the 3DS and 3DS XL. Basically, what it came down to was cost. How much do they cost? Could I find one? First off, and roughly how long would it take to be delivered. And from what I've found is, for me and sort of the games that I want to play on the device, the Lite was actually the best option. If I only wanted to play 3D games, like, then obviously I would have gone with the 3D XL. But they were a lot more expensive. And when I mean a lot more, all in with the DS Lite, I'm in about almost $160 all in. So the device itself was about $92, just over. And then I have two games on the way which aren't actually here right now. Those were like $66 totaled up. And so with everything all said, I'm in at about just over $150. Well, most 3DSs, the original 3DS, and the obviously the newer XLs that came out in 2015, I think it is, were well out of my budget. So yeah, and when I mean way out of my budget, I mean like double what I'm in for with the DS Lite here. And you might be wondering, like, oh, it didn't come with a charger, it didn't come with blah 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 blah. The charger's just caught on another charging cable, actually. Here's the original charger. This is from Japan. It came with the stylus, or the touch pen, and it came with a very tight GVA slot cover. Most of the other DS Lites I was looking at were missing one or two of those other items. A lot of them were missing were missing the slot cover. Some were missing the pen. But a majority of them, surprisingly, were missing the charger. Yeah, a whole bunch of the ones I was looking at were actually missing the actual charger. So yeah, I was like, well, why am I spending all this money on a device that I would have to just add more to, right? I.e. the touch pen and the charger. I don't really care about the slot cover. It is a nice to have, but I'm not really, what's the right word here? Concerned about it, because it's like I can just print them pretty easily. All it does is just basically keeps dust out of it. That's basically what it does. So I was like, why don't I look at ones from Japan? And before you get into comments saying, oh, what about the power? You need to have a converter and all this. I know. I already have the converter. I've had it since like 2024, like, because I have a Japanese 360, so I have the power requirement for it. So yeah, and you might be saying, oh, why pink? Why not like blue or white or whatever other color? The white and the black and the blue from this particular seller were not in great condition. Like, they were very dirty and a little dusty, to be honest. Whereas the pink is in very, very good condition, and also the white was starting to turn yellow, which I didn't want to deal with. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just go with the pink. And yeah, there's a little bit of dust on the inside, not that big of a deal. And surprisingly, like, I have decent sized hands. The DS LITE actually fits pretty nicely in the hand. So yeah, it's a little small, but I can work with it. For the amount that I'm going to use it, which, truth be told, is not going to be a lot, I'm fine with the size. And you might be wondering, why not the DSi? Well, the DSi is only compatible with Game Boy Advance games and DS games, whereas this guy is compatible with, I believe, original Game Boy as well. Let me just look at quickly up here. I thought I had it saved. But what I can do is I can do it on here. DS. I can't spell. There it is. Backwards compatibility. So with the entire Game Boy Advance game library, and oh, I thought it was compatible with Game Boy games. I might end up buying like a cheap Game Boy game, like original Game Boy, just to see if it does work, but we'll see. It all depends on price. So Yeah, so Game Boy Advance games, or there we are. So we're looking at we're looking at over 1,500 licensed games. U.S. only, so that's North America, 954 games. So total of like 1,500, just over. And then the DS library. We're looking at another. So we're probably looking at about 34 to 3,500 total. So just over 1,700 in North America at retail. And then you're looking at DSi, where adds another 630. But yeah, so we're looking at close to over like 4,000, 5,000 games, somewhere in that region. So I'm thinking, so yeah, so the good thing is the DS Lite is not region locked, which completely surprised me because I thought at that time, because this was going up against the PlayStation Portable at the time, were region locked. Because I know 3DSs are region locked, but apparently they aren't. So yeah. So yeah. So only, just like in the Switch, for example, if you buy a game from, let's say, Japan, and there's Japanese and there's DOC for that, you'll have to do it that way, where you can't just buy the DOC for the North American and hope you can play it on with your Japanese game. That will not work. So for me, when I buy any game or import any game for the Switch, I go to Nintendo's website, like the eShop online, to see, okay, does this game have DOC? If it does, I'll tend to stick to buying a North American copy, whereas if it doesn't have DOC, like for example Shining Pearl, I will buy it as a Japanese version and just play it in English. And you might be wondering, like, how much is Diamond and Pearl for DS? So from this particular seller, who I've used a handful of times for some games for Switch, sitting behind me, they have pretty much everything. They have Diamond, they have Pearl, they have Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black, White, Black 2, White 2, X, Y. So we're now talking 3DS here. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, again 3DS. Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Those are 3DS games as well. Then they have all the Switch games, and then you can do bundles and stuff like that. So like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, for example, bundled is actually pretty reasonable. We're looking at about 100 and almost 120 US, so about 177 Canadian. So like just over 160. So yeah, which a US copy. Oh wait, no. Sorry. This is a Spanish copy. Is 89 for the Spanish copy of Heart Gold. Yeah, but I'm paying about $26 in shipping. But if I go Heart Gold, Pokemon Heart Gold, Pokemon Heart Gold cartridge only. I'm looking at about 170. But typically you're looking at about over 250 for Heart Gold. Yeah. Cartridge only. Yeah, so it's like around a $200 plus game for Heart Gold. If you're looking for Soul Silver, we're looking at like well over 200. Again, like 230 plus. So typically it's around a $200 game as well. Yeah, so it's a little bit expensive. So that's probably why I'm going to go with the Japanese copies for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So yeah, and that goes with consoles as well. Like the consoles are getting more and more expensive. And like I said, this one with everything, right? So the GBA cover, the pen, and the charger with shipping was like $92.75 Canadian. And you're probably thinking, okay, so that's coming from Japan. It probably took like 2 weeks. You probably ordered it like end of December. It arrived like 2 days ago. No, actually, I didn't. I ordered it. The 3rd of January. Yeah, 3rd of January. So what's that? A week ago. And it arrived on Thursday. So it arrived in 5 days from Japan. And you're probably wondering, you probably had to pay like $300 for like express shipping and stuff like that. I didn't. The difference between the standard shipping and the express shipping was the same. So I'm like, I'm an idiot if I don't go with the express shipping. And I did, and it arrived within 5 days, which I was not expecting at all. I was expecting it to be here next week, as of obviously recording this January 10th. Excuse me. So, yeah, I was not expecting it. The other thing I was not expecting, well, I shouldn't really say that. I was expecting it. I was not expecting it today. This is my GamerSupps order that I did back in August. So this is the, I think it's the Shy Lily. I think it is, or silver. Let me double check. Give me one sec. Sorry about that. No, this is the Silver Veil Shaker Cup, which I ordered August of last year. And you're probably wondering, wait a minute, it's not August anymore. That's true, it's January. And basically what happened was the Shaker Cup was a pre-order, and I think it's like a 12 to 16 week shipping, I think. Let me see here. Yeah, I think it's like a 12 to 16 week shipping, I think. So yeah, and like I said, I ordered this back in August. When did I exactly order it? They want me to sign in. Give me a second here. I can do it this way quickly. Yeah, so I ordered it in on August 17th, 2025. So August of last year. And I have just literally received it today. And the reason for that is because of their shipping is just, yeah. So it's a 12 to 16 week ship out, and yeah, it took forever for it to arrive. Sorry if I'm looking at my other monitor. I just want to double check something quickly. Yes. Huh. That's strange, because for some reason typically you would get 5 of their sample packs. You're now only getting 4. So this is actually the second GamerSupps shaker I have. The first one I have is this one, Numi. So I ordered this almost a year ago now. I ordered this in February. Yeah, so I've started to move away from the smaller G Fuel shaker cups, just because, like, if I'm at work, for example, like over the summer, like I was last summer, one of these would last basically the full shift. Um, yeah, and yeah, so that arrived today, which, like I said, I knew was coming, but I had not received an email from GamerSubs themselves to say, hey, by the way, we shipped it out. Until I got an email from Shop, who they use to track everything. So, yeah, like I'm actually going into my email that I use for that account just to see if anything showed up. But yeah, so that arrived today as well. The DS, like I said, arrived on Thursday, which was very, very quick. I was not I was not I was not I was not thinking it would actually arrive when it did. So yeah, so so I just got lucky that it arrived when it did. So yeah, so, and you might be wondering, like, why did I go with the DS Lite? Why not one of the different ones, like a DSi or a DSi XL? The DSi XLs are very hard for me to find. I couldn't even find find a DSi XL at all. Like I looked, and if I could find one, they needed a repair, like screen replacements or or um, or they were missing parts and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't really want to deal with that. And they were also a lot more expensive when I could find a DSi XL, or sorry, yeah, a DSi XL. So I thought, you know what, I don't want to spend a crap ton of money on the DS. Let me be clear here. Like, this is one just for me to have fun with and screw around, basically. Like, I'm not going to be recording with it and stuff like that. I'm not going to be modifying it. Like, if I do get another one, I might modify it with like USB Type C, but that one would probably be a North American one to make my life a little bit easier. But other than that, really, I'm fine with the Japanese one. Yeah. So, and truth be told, like, I'm not going to get a ton of games for um, for um, for the DS. Like, I'll probably get maybe like some of the bigger ones, like Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver, to get those into the collection before they jump up in price from Japan, because that sort of stuff is going up. So I do want to get those as quick as I can. Those, I might buy one in late April if I still have some budget. Um, but yeah, primarily right now it's just the two games I have coming, which is um, Pokemon White. At the moment, I have White coming, and I also have um, Animal Crossing Wild World. I think it is. Is it Wild World? Let me double check here. I think it is literally called Wild World. Yes, Wild World. And there we go. Yeah, so I wanted to see if it was a Japanese exclusive. It technically was a Japanese exclusive for a bit. Well, not much though, like about a month roughly. Yeah. So for Japan, like I'm learning on the wiki for it right now. Um, it came out November 23rd, 2005, and then December 5th and December 8th, respectively. So North America and Australia. Um, it came out, so for North America, it came out December 5th, and for Australia, it came out December 8th. So December 5th for North America, Australia was December 8th of 2005, so roughly about a month. And then for Europe, it was March 31st of '06, and then Korea, it was December 6th of '07. Um, so, yeah. So, yeah. So, it's, and this game actually wasn't too expensive actually. I think it might actually have been, let me see here. 22. Yeah, this ironically Animal Crossing Wild World was more expensive than well, granted it's US price, but I can do the conversion. Um, so it was yeah, it was more expensive. Animal Crossing Wild World was more expensive than a Japanese copy of Pokemon White. So the difference actually isn't massive. Um, so it was. It was like $2.16 more at the end of the day. So Pokemon White was $31.72, whereas Animal Crossing was $33.88. So like just over $2 more, which is kind of funny. So yeah, so I have, like I said, I have those two games coming right now. One of them, which is the Pokemon White, that is actually coming from Japan directly. Like I said, I've used this seller before for like Let's Go Eevee and a couple others. Whereas the seller who I'm using for Animal Crossing Wild World is out of BC. So they're pretty close. to where I am. So I should theoretically, if the seller has shipped out the Animal Crossing, I should have it theoretically. I wasn't going to say Monday, but I should have it by mid, at the earliest mid January, which would actually be when? By Thursday, theoretically, at the earliest. But it's realistically going to be coming the 22nd is to the, I think that they said the 3rd of February. So basically, latter half of the month at the latest. It all really depends on how they shipped it. I haven't seen anything regarding that order from that seller. So yeah, so like I said, the DS is just sort of something for me to screw around with when I might be in another game waiting for a game to load. If I'm doing Overwatch or something, I can just sort of screw around and have fun. Fun with. So yeah, it's just something for me to have fun with on the older hardware. And you might be wondering, like, oh, are you going to amass a massive game collection like what you have for the Switch or PS5? No. Just because the games are kind of hard to find in a lot of cases and are very, very expensive. So I'm not really looking at those games. There are a few games I am looking at, like some of the Pokemon GBA games, so like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, for example. But those ones are stupidly expensive and kind of hard to find. Like I did find a few from Japan, but we're still looking well over $100 totaled up, and including shipping. It's just crazy. So for me at the moment, it doesn't really make too much sense. If I can find them at a reasonable price, somewhat locally, I probably will consider. But other than that, yeah, you won't see a lot on the 3DS or 3DS on the DS unless I shell swap it or I get a couple good games and stuff like that, and I just want to showcase them. But yeah, other than that, adios.